Hello everyone, welcome all to Physics with Astronautics. So here we will discuss about some question of CUET previous year physics paper for PG entrance. So basically this is our part 4 and because there are some doubts over some questions, so I will upload the part 3 part later. So let's begin, and here is our first question. A piece of ice of mass 10 kg is pushed with a velocity 10 meter per second along a horizontal surface. The piece stops after traveling 30 meter due to friction between the base and the surface. If the latent heat of ice is 80 calorie per gram, then the mass of the melted ice is. And the options are 1 gram, 1.5 gram, 2 gram and 0 gram. So let's say, so here the question says ice of mass 10 kg is pushed with a velocity of 10 meter per second along a horizontal surface. The piece stops after traveling 30 meter due to friction between the piece and the surface. If the latent heat of ice is 80 calorie per gram, then the mass of the melted ice would be. So from here we can calculate the kinetic energy of the block. So this would be half mv square because we are given the mass of the ice and also the velocity. So by putting the data here we can find half into m would be 10 and v square will be 100. So the kinetic energy will be 500 joule. Again, it has been saying that the latent heat of ice is 80 calorie per gram. So here the latent heat of ice will be 80 calorie per gram, that is equal to 80 into 4.2. So this is basically for the conversion into joule. So this would be 336 joule per gram. So the mass of the melted ice will be 500 by 336, that is equal to 1.48 gram, and this is nearly equal to 1.5 gram. So the final answer will be 1.5 gram. Then match list 1 with list 2. So here is the list 1 and here is the list 2. So we can find it like we know that du, that is the change in internal energy, will be equal to TdS minus PdV. So the first relation says that del U by del S at constant volume. So from here we can find it as del U by del S at constant volume will be equal to temperature. So 1 matches with P. Then we know that F is equal to U minus Ts. So from here dF will be equal to du minus TdS minus STT. Again we know du is equal to TdS minus PdV. So by putting this value here we can find it as uh, df will be equal to minus pdv minus sdt. So here it has been asking minus del f by del v at constant temperature. So this is coming out to be pressure. So the option B matches with A. So 2 with A. Then G is equal to H minus Ts. So again we know that H is equal to U plus PV, and G will be equal to U plus PV minus Ts. So like that we can found here dG will be equal to TdS minus PdV plus PdV plus VdP minus TdS minus STT, and like that dG will be equal to finally VdP minus STT. So here it has been asking del G by del P at constant temperature. So del G by del P at constant temperature will be, this part would be 0, and it is coming out to be volume V. So 3 matches with D, and the last part, that is del G by del T at constant pressure. So from here we can get del G by del T at constant pressure will be equal to minus of entropy, that is minus of S. So 4 matches with option C. So 1 with B, 2 with A, 3 with D and 4 with C. So the option D will be the correct answer. Then in the question given below, there are two statements marked as assertion and reason. Mark your answer as per the codes provided below. So the first statement says every thermodynamic system in an equilibrium state processes internal energy which is function of state only, and we know that internal energy is the function of state only. And the reason says that in thermodynamic system energy is conserved. This is also true, but this is not the correct explanation for the part A. So our answer will be both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Then given below two statements. So statement 1 says the change in enthalpy during an isobaric process is equal to the heat transfer. And the second statement says the internal energy of system which is available for work is in reversible isothermal change. So from here we can say that the statement 1 is correct, and also we have the explanation that the enthalpy will be equal to U plus PV. So here we can write DH is equal to DU plus D whole PV. So from here dH will be equal to TdS minus PdV plus PdV plus VdP. So here PdV and plus PdV and minus PdV will cancel out each other. So dH will be equal to TdS plus PdV. So because here it has been saying that isobaric process. So in isobaric process pressure is constant. So here we can write it as dH will be equal to TdS. Again we know that TdS is the change in heat energy, that is dq. So we can say that the change in enthalpy during an isobaric process is equal to the heat transfer. So the correct answer will be statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Then here is our next question: which of the statement given below are correct? So statement 1 say or A says for a closed system undergoing S cycle of processes, the cyclic integral of heat is equal to the cyclic integral of work. So this is true. Then the mean free path of the molecule of a gas is independent of the absolute temperature of the gas. This is wrong because we know that lambda is proportional to temperature. So how? Because we know that lambda is equal to 1 by root 2 pi n d square. So this small n can be written as caps n by v, and this v can be written as RT by P. So from here we can conclude that the lambda is directly proportional with the temperature. So option B is incorrect. Then the work done by the process is 0 by an isochoric process. We know that W is equal to PdV. So in isochoric process volume is constant, so dV will be equal to 0, so the work done also will be 0. So option C is also correct. Then the internal energy of the system does not change in an adiabatic process. So we know that U is equal to NCVDT. So at constant temperature del U is equal to 0, but not at adiabatic process, because we know that in adiabatic process del Q is equal to 0, which says that uh, entropy will be 0 here. So option D is also incorrect. Then in an adiabatic process temperature remain constant. As I have told you before that in adiabatic process del Q is equal to 0, and we know that dQ is equal to TdS. So here we can consider that ds will be 0, that is change in entropy will be 0. So here entropy is constant, not the temperature. So option E is also incorrect. So our final answer will be option A, statement A and statement C are correct. So option A is the correct option. So here is our next question, which says in a scattering by an elementary particle experiment, the scattering cross section depends upon the energy E of the incident particle, Planck's constant h, and velocity of light c. On the basis of dimension, scattering cross section would be proportional to. We know that dimension of scattering cross section area is L square. So by checking all these options, so let us check the first option first. So hc by e whole square, we can consider the dimension of H from the uncertainty relation, that is H cot by 2 is equal to X into P. So the dimension of H will be equal to M1 L2 T minus 1, and C is because the velocity of light, so the dimension will be L T minus 1, and here E, that is energy, will be equal to M L2 T minus 2. So here this whole square, so the final answer will come out to be L2. So this is the correct answer, which matches the dimension of scattering cross section area. So our answer will be option A. Then match list 1 with list 2. So here Fraunhofer's experiment uh, basically state about the quantization of energy level of a electron. Then Riemann effect of a atom, it says about the space experiment of angular momentum. Then Davison and Germer experiment says about the wave nature of particle, and Stone-Gurley experiment basically says about the existence of spin. So here the option C is the correct answer. So in this question we have to calculate the expectation value of X, that is the position of the electron trapped in a box of width L. So we know the formula for the expectation value, that each expectation value of X is equal to integration over 0 to L psi star X psi dx whole divided by integration over 0 to L psi star psi. So because this is normalized, so the psi function can be written as root over of 2 by L sine n pi x L. So by putting this value in this equation and by integrating it, we can found that the expectation value of x can be coming out to be L by 2. So our final answer is option C, that is L by 2. Then in black body radiation in a cavity, photons are created and annihilated as a result of emission and absorption by the walls of the cavity. So this is happened because option A says photon at spin 1, entropy of photons is very high, chemical potential of photon is 0, and photon obeys Pauli's exclusion principle. So here the correct answer is the third part, that is the chemical potential of photon is 0. So our final answer will be option C. Then the de Broglie wavelength of an electron in a metal at 27 degrees Celsius is options are 6.2 nanometer, 3.1 nanometer, 3.1 picometer, and 6.2 picometer. And here is our solution. In the question it has been given that the temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. So by converting it into Kelvin, we can write it as 27 plus 273, that is equal to 300 Kelvin. So our de Broglie wavelength will be equal to, we know that lambda is equal to h by p, and p can be written as root over of 2me. Also because we have to find out it with temperature, so here we can put the value of EH 3 kT by 2. So our final result will be H by root over of 3m kT. So by putting all the value here, that is H is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34. Then mass of electron is equal to 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31. Then the K value, that is Boltzmann constant, is equal to 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23, and the temperature is given as 300 Kelvin. Our final answer will be 6.2 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter, which is equal to 6.2 nanometer. So the answer is 6.2 nanometer. Then an electron is known to have a speed of 200 meter per second to an accuracy of 1%. What is the minimum uncertainty with which its position can be estimated? And here are the options you can see. So let's jump to the solution directly. So here given that an electron is known to have a speed of 200 meter per second to an accuracy of 1%, and we have to calculate the minimum uncertainty in its position. We know that the uncertainty principle says x dot p is greater than or equal to h dot by 2. So because we have to calculate the minimum uncertainty, we can write it h x dot p is equal to h coat by 2. Again, we know the value of h coat, that is equal to h by 2 pi. So by putting the value of h and 2 pi here, and after that the momentum p can be written h mv, we can calculate the value of uncertainty in position x, that is here h is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34. Then this 2 pi and this 2 is equal to 4 into 3.14 into the mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31, and the velocity is given as 200 meter per second. So by having all the calculations, we can find the final answer as 29 into 10 to the power minus 6, which is nearly equal to the option 28.93 micrometer. So the final answer will be 28.93 micrometer. Then the two isotopes of chlorine, that is chlorine 1735 and chlorine 1737, do not have same, and but they doesn't have same quality, and the options are color, that is yellow, suffocating odor, efficiency as poisons and bleaching agents, and the option D is boiling and freezing point. So the character that they both have different is the boiling and freezing point. Then an electron of mass is given as the rest mass is given as 0.511 mega electron volt per c square, where c is the velocity of light, has an estimated momentum of 2.00 mega electron volt per c. Then its total energy will be. So the rest mass is given as m naught is equal to 0.511 mega electron volt per c square, and the momentum p is given as 2.00 mega electron volt per c. So we know the formula for total energy, that is equal to root over of p square c square plus m naught square c4. So by putting this two value here, we can found it as 4 plus 0.2611 root over of this. So the final answer is 2.064 mega electron volt. So option B is correct here, that is 2.064 mega electron volt. Then according to Moseley law, the frequency of the characteristics X-ray is proportional to the square of what? And the options are atomic number of the element, atomic weight of the element, mass number of the element, and density of the element. So we know that this law says root over of nu, that is equal to A into Z minus B, where nu is the frequency, Z is the atomic number, and A and B are two constant. So from here we can conclude that nu will be equal to A into Z minus B whole square. So the frequency is directly proportional to the atomic number of the element, square of the atomic number of the element. Then when an X-ray photon of wavelength 0.1 nanometer collides with an electron and is scattered through 90 degrees, what is the new wavelength of the X-ray photon? And here the options you can see, and here is our solution, that is delta lambda is equal to h by m naught c 1 minus cos pi. Here delta lambda is the wavelength, difference in the wavelength, that is lambda dex minus lambda, where lambda dex is the scattered wavelength and lambda is the incident wavelength, and m naught is the mass of electron, which is equal to 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Here c denotes the velocity of light is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and phi is the scattering angle of the photon. So by putting this value here, we can find that delta lambda is equal to h by m naught c 1 minus cos pi will be equal to 2.42 into 10 to the power minus 12. Again we have given that lambda, that is the incident wavelength, is equal to 0.1 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. So by putting this value here, we can find that the scattered wavelength will be equal to 0.1024 nanometer. So the final answer is 0.1024 nanometer. I hope you all enjoyed the session. So for more videos, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.